All right.
Yeah.
So how's it look over here?
It look good over there.
It look good over here?
It
Good
look
deal.
good.
All right. Okay, we ready to go here and we ready to go. Look.
It's already on.
Yeah. All right.
All right. We got 2 seconds here.
Grab this.
Instagram. Good morning, Instagram.
Good morning.
All right. So now we're
Oh,
up.
great. I can tag friends now. Trying to figure this out. Okay. So if I do that, there we go. Click, click, click. I wish I could use this board. But good morning,
Good morning.
everyone.
She's trying to tag people.
Inviting some people in.
It's different to do it on the iPad, huh?
Yeah. Different, different, different. And then trying to make sure I don't knock anything down.
Yeah, but it's all right.
So good morning, Marriage Matters family. Hope you all had a great week. And I hope you all saw the challenge we put out there for you guys about the date night pictures.
Yep.
So we are waiting and excited. And we posted ours last night.
Yep.
So the deal was to get creative, do something different, or just be with each other and have a great time.
That's right. And we did it.
So we tried to do both. We tried to do both. So, all right. So we ready to get started, Mr. Johnson?
I'm just waiting on you to do
You
that.
waiting on me?
Mhm.
Okay. I guess I better stop.
I mean, you can go on and keep tagging people. We give them a
Ooh,
chance to
Mom.
get. You want to get tired?
Mom, get
Oh,
tired.
goodness.
We're gonna figure it out, y'all, because I promise you, I know that
It's an easier way to do
it's the
that.
easier way to do this. I know it is. So, all right.
With that keyboard.
And look at that, Miss Charlie. Good morning, my
Good morning, Miss
sister.
Charlie.
We
Charlie.
love you. You got your coffee? You ready to go?
Yeah, we trying to get up. Because I don't think we came off that porch till almost 11.
Yeah.
Man, we was out there 3 hours. But we had fun.
It
It
was
was nice.
fun.
So, good morning. Looking at you from Facebook, looking at you from Instagram, and looking at you from, oh, oh, we don't have to look over there?
Yeah.
I'm wondering why you kept saying that. I was like, do we have to look over there? No, I'm sorry.
No, you don't.
So now we can do this. So we have Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube at one time. And we are experimenting each and every week about how we can better come to you and be engaged and just try to share some things with you. But also, we need you all to share things with us. Everybody has their way about doing things. Miss
You know
Charlie,
what?
you need to
You're just a
stop.
show off.
You
I
got
have done 440 to your 7,000. How about that?
She letting you know that she letting you know that you ain't gonna catch up this week.
Oh my gosh.
I've got 7,000.
But I got it on. I just need to get started. Give me till Monday.
7,000 steps. Wow, Miss Charlie, you. After this coffee though, with this caffeine, I bet she can get at least
500 or 5,000?
5,000. I guess she's gonna laugh. But it is important to keep that spice in the marriage and just not, allow yourself to go through, do things together. And it's not to say that you don't. We're just encouraging you. We are encouraging you to do so because you will find so much to do. And it doesn't have to be something expensive. Good morning, Joel. It doesn't have to be expensive. It's just to hang out. So it is a family tradition. Every third Friday of the month is date night for the Johnsons. The children understand it. They into it. I guess they glad when we leave because they probably try to do something that they don't want us to know about. But, they know it. And they know that, well, why you all staying at home? Y'all should be getting ready. Or, they got an idea that they feel like it's special. So
yesterday we ordered food. He ordered our food. We got dressed, makeup, all that stuff. Set up a beautiful table outside, candlelight. citronella so we wouldn't get ate up.
Electric candles.
A glass of bottle of red wine and seafood.
And a little seafood. We had well, the pit was burning too, right? We had the fire pit
We had the fire pit after dinner.
after dinner. And so it's important to go out and really, just find things to do together.
Mhm.
Uh, because one important thing that Millicent said was, hey, you don't want to be living with a stranger in your house after all the kids are grown and gone. And it's like you stay on this side of the house doing your thing, and he's on that side of the house doing his thing, but
Right.
you're supposed to be living. So that's why you live now, so that you can continue to grow and do things. I don't believe that everything that I like to do, she likes to do. But I think that because of the compromise,
Hmm.
we find ways to do things that we both like,
Right.
even if we know the other may not be interested in it, to be honest with you. Um, but we've learned to grow in that regard as far as giving each other an opportunity to engage in something that the other likes to do.
And I almost don't even want to really call it a compromise. It's like, okay, these are some of the things that my spouse likes to do.
Uh,
How would that make my spouse feel if I do this with them or, watch this with them?
okay.
How does that make you feel? It's like, some of the things that's important to me or that I like to do, you know, they at least take an interest in it because of me. So that makes me feel special.
Okay. So next time we want to get on the roof, you're gonna come with me.
Sure.
Yeah,
He don't even like getting on the roof.
man.
But I will sit and watch a football game with you.
She'll watch a football game.
I'll watch a basketball game with you.
Mm-hmm.
I even do baseball.
Oh, she like baseball.
I grew up with that. So,
I look at it live. I can't look at baseball like
well,
on
see,
TV.
I grew up with that. My grandfather was either looking at it on TV or listening to it on the radio. So
Yeah,
that's an old thing for me. Good morning, Miss Patrina.
Hey, Patrina.
So
How are
lovely
you?
to see you this morning.
Yeah, we actually went to the game, so I guess that's why it was a big deal. But today we want to talk to you about two hearts, but one life.
Mhm.
Two hearts, one life. Just like two rings, but they are connected. And when you pull them together, it's like a chain. So we understand that you come from different backgrounds. We understand that you have a different way of thinking, but you made a commitment
Mhm.
to love each other. You made a commitment to journey through life together, not by dragging one
Mhm.
or not by walking behind the other and
Right.
looking back to see where they are, but it was supposed to be a journey of walking side by side,
Mhm.
hand in hand. And some people have different perspectives on what marriage is. And you have those that try to lord over people. Good luck with that if that works for you. But I don't agree with that type of commitment. I didn't grow up in a home where somebody was lording over somebody else. Um, but I do believe that when we make these commitments to do things together, because
Mhm.
why would you get married if you're not saying that you're together? Um, that the journey is difficult. The journey is rewarding. It's fun.
Mhm.
It has disappointments. Um, but those type of disappointments, no matter how bad they may be, or no matter how uncomfortable those types of experiences are, you only become a more well-rounded adult because of it.
Right.
What's up, Mr. Benson? Good morning, Kevin. We're just talking this morning. We're talking about two hearts, but one life. Excuse me, two hearts, one life. And our main scripture is going to be Ruth chapter 1 and verse number 16, and we'll get to that in a second.
Okay.
And I know that some people that look at this and view us are not married, and that is totally okay. I want you to understand that if what you want to do is commit yourself to another person experiencing it through the word of God, then hey, you get ready. You got things to learn. You got things to grow and understand.
Okay.
You got things that you need to,
You have to study in order to pass the test.
you got to study in order to pass the test, but the test don't ever stop. The test is a life test. But I think that the journey is so unpredictable. That's what it is.
It is.
You don't
It's
have
very
you have no idea of
Yeah.
what's going to happen one day to the next, especially if your journey involves children.
Yeah.
If you don't
But
have,
that's why we have so much on staying committed to the commitment, because you never know, what's going to be thrown at you. So staying committed to the commitment. If you keep that in the forefront of your mind, then it gives you that extra, I don't know what, the extra
it just gives you an extra
push, that
push
desire to do better.
Because it's not always going to be easy. But I can say this: it has been a very rewarding journey, and the journey continues on because it doesn't stop.
Right.
We have no idea what we're going to face in life from one day to the next, but we do know, Millicent and myself, we do know that if we pray, if we trust God, if we seek after Him, then whatever we face is not greater than the God that put us together.
Right.
And yes, we do believe that we were chosen for one another, even though we had our own individual desires of what we wanted. We believe that at the right time, in the right situation, that this is what God's plan was. So some people can agree with that, some have to. But I think the focus is now, after 25 years, is how do we get better? Conversations that we wouldn't dare have, that we early on we have now.
Yeah. And it's okay. Because I know before they didn't turn out well.
No, they didn't turn out well at all. It was oh man. If you could see big giant walls of steel just floating around in the house as we pass by each other, that's kind of like what it was, walls. And I don't see you don't see me, I don't know, and so I think that it is it's really funny to think that, what were we really doing? You hurting yourself. You done committed to somebody, the two have become one flesh, and you over there putting up a wall. You hurting yourself. You hurting your wife, you hurting yourself.
Yeah.
You hurting your husband, you hurting yourself. So the reality is that we can experience life in a very positive way when our outlook about life is positive.
Right.
I want to encourage you to, and I learned this a couple of weeks ago, and it's not that you don't do it. Some people do it, some people don't. Get them telling yourself good things.
Right.
Tell yourself that you are beautiful. Tell yourself that you are handsome. Tell yourself that you're worth something more than gold or platinum or whatever other rare metal out there that I can think of, a diamond. Tell yourself that you're going to make good decisions today.
Right.
And that you're going to put people's feelings ahead of your own. Start the day off with some affirmations and just breathe. You don't know what you're going to face, but when you do go to work, whether it's virtually or whether you go inside a brick and mortar building, you want to have the best attitude possible because you have things to do.
Right.
And something that you say, do, or think will impact somebody the day that you go to work. Something that you do say or think will impact your wife. Something that you do say or think will impact your husband or your children. Something that you do say or think will impact your finances, whether you believe it or not. So, because our wisdom and what we know is not greater than God, it's okay not to know everything. But what we can do is we can take decisions when we talk and when we discuss
Right.
things and take those decisions, say, God, this is something we want to do, but we need your help.
Mhm.
And we really want to, this is a serious decision. So we really want to not just move fast just because the pressures outside may say move fast, but we really need to think through this and know that when we agree, this is what we want to do.
And you know what I just thought about too, like when we're at work, you can be a really great manager when you say, you know what, I don't know the answer to your question, but
Mhm.
let me find out. And you go to somebody that you know knows the answer and find out. So sometimes when our spouse looks to us for something or asks our opinion about something, it's okay to even tell your spouse, I don't know, but let me see if I can find out.
Mhm.
Because then you get into that prideful area when you act like you know everything and you don't. None of us do.
No.
So it's okay to say I don't know. So either let me find out, or but we can try to find out together. Let's research that. Let's find out. And that's another ground for you're creating another ground for conversation
Yeah.
between you and your spouse too.
And to make a decision that you find and research something that it could be something that you just, if you don't know, and then you go into a decision blind,
Hmm.
and then you do have some artifacts or some other things that could help you understand more, then you bring that to God and say, Lord, this is this side.
Right.
What does your word say? Can you help us find this in the word?
Hmm.
And now you have these. So these cell phones, I don't know, you can't see that. But you can look up this stuff and you can type in and it can kind of narrow it down to something that may be close to what you're trying to find in the word so that you can say, okay, it's a bunch of scriptures in here on on kindness or
Hmm.
whatever. And then you look through there and find out which one resonates with you that you understand. Because sometimes, it'll be, the Bible is sometimes confusing about how things are worded.
Right.
So even in that, Lord, give us a good understanding of what the word says before we make a decision, because we want to make a decision that's going to keep you in the front.
Hmm.
And also, when it's all over said and done, it's going to be a blessing for our family and ourselves.
Right.
So I want you to read that Ruth chapter 1 and verse number 16, and we're going to put this car in drive.
Okay, so y'all know I can't hear. I had Luke
Oh, sorry.
1 and 16.
Ruth.
Okay, so it's Ruth chapter 1 and verse 16 says, but Ruth replied, don't urge me to leave you or to turn back from you. Where you go, I will go. And where you stay, I will stay. Your people will be my people, and your God, my God.
Ooh. So,
Wow. You know what? I said that.
huh?
I said that
When you said
in
it,
different words.
you said it in different words?
Yeah.
Give me an example. No, I'm just playing.
Well, I will give an example, seriously, because we were he was supposed to be finished with school in December of '94 and be moving back home, and you still have more school to do.
I needed 3 hours.
And I
We need to
refused.
discuss this.
I
We need to talk
refused
about this right now.
to. I refused to be married to him, and across what 3 different states.
Yeah, over 500 miles away.
So I quit my job, transferred to school, and 3 days after we got married, I was out.
Y'all see the look on my face? I told her to just, hey, I'll be back, blah, blah, blah. Ooh. So the thing was, the decision to not be separated was probably the best. It was the best thing that ever happened.
Yeah.
We did not know each other in the way that we thought. And being on a college campus even made it worse. Oh my God, it was tough.
It was an experience.
Oh my goodness, it was really bad. Oh my God, it was bad. So, but God See, when God is in the midst of things and other people don't understand, and you should do this and you should do that,
Right.
that's why you got to stick to your guns. Not only did God bless my wife, nobody knew my wife at all. She came on the campus with a job. She got a job. I'm telling you, the first time she stepped foot on the campus, she got a job. And that was it. I was working like 5 jobs and I was still broke. But, you know, she got a job. And then eventually, after they, got a place ready, we were able to stay in the Merritt house on campus. But the thing was, the issue of good morning, LaWanda.
Good morning.
The thing was, it was a decision that really impacted our decision making, and then us being separated from our family, and then being separated by all those miles, helped us to really understand the power of prayer. Excuse me, and then dealing with just life as a married couple, young, and then trying to figure out what's going to be the next move. Because
I just think that was the best thing, though, because it truly made us depend on God for real, and each other.
Because we were on our way to Wisconsin. It was even worse, boy. You could feel the fire and you could feel the fire from yeah, you could just feel the heat. I mean, when we said that we were moving to Beloit, Wisconsin, because I was getting a job as oh gosh, it was no more of hold up. What it said, I will go where you go, and my people will be your people. Mm-hmm. She won't be my people then, golly. She was mad. She said, how dare you? I was like, oh God.
What do you think you're gonna do with my baby?
And she didn't let it go, boy. But the thing was, it was important for Millicent and myself because we just didn't really know what was going to be the next thing. But again, God showed up again. We came home from spring break. We went to church. Pastor Love was preaching on something about people going here, but in actuality, they should go there. Mm-hmm. So when the people divided, one group went to one place and they got something that totally they didn't want. The other group went to where we were supposed to go, and they went there because we had a choice. We either going to Wisconsin or we coming back to Texas. Right. And so things and doors opened up so that we could be able to come back to Texas. Mm-hmm. And it hasn't been, it's just been life as you know, I would say life as usual, but it's been a journey.
Yeah.
Of growth and experiences.
Escalating from glory to glory.
So, with her saying,
oh, go ahead.
You want to read some of those?
Mm-hmm. Well, she said, LaWanda got on here asking a lot of questions. She said, how old were you when you were married on campus?
23.
And 24. Seriously, 23 and 24.
And some women wouldn't, and they know, and if whatever you was on campus, and I probably was one of those. I remember one day we was coming out of the, she laughing. So I remember we was coming out the cafeteria together, and there was some women, they were sitting on top of the brick, because a big old brick wall, and you got to climb up there to get up on them. And they was looking like birds sitting on the fence, and they said something.
Acting like hens in the yard.
I forgot what they said. But they knew who she was. They just didn't want to say like the name. So then I responded. I said, "It's my wife, and her name is this." And that ain't. And then it started a whole like a brigade of crap. But we stuck to what we knew was right. Mm-hmm. And it was really just well, she won't tell me on the male side who was messing with her, but on the female side, it was blatant.
Because I didn't know anybody, so I went to
class. It don't matter.
I was in my dorm room because we was living in separate dorm rooms too.
Until they got the married housing together. But the new girl on campus, they get attention, so don't even try it. All right, so we need.
I was a size 6 back then. So.
So yeah, they had married housing on campus. You know, they sure did. It's the South.
Yeah.
It's the South, not the North. Not the North, they ain't got nothing. You figure it out.
So, and go back and look at the pictures, Miss LaWanda. We had date night at our house on our patio.
So go check the pictures out, LaWanda. They are on Marriage Matters. They're on Facebook. You can see all the stuff that we did, and we had a little small video because we was out there for a long time.
So don't forget, we want to see y'all's videos and pictures too.
Mm-hmm. All right, so let's keep on moving.
Okay.
All right, so
which one we doing? This first or this first?
I think if we do all the scriptures, then we can come back and hit this and kind of tie everything in.
Okay, so our next scripture is Psalms 133 and 1.
Psalms 133 and verse number 1.
Mm-hmm.
Me with these little slow hands here. Uh-oh, I didn't go fast enough. Here we go. Psalms 133.
Yeah, in verse 1.
Okay, here we go.
She said, party on the patio. Yep, party on the patio.
This is what it says. It says, how good and pleasant is it when God's people live together in unity. That is important. You have to be unified. Excuse me. You have to be unified together. People need to know you together. And everybody can read body language. Mm-hmm. They can tell in the store when you're not together. Right. They can tell when you sit this close together, but there's like even though we're touching, it's like a wall or something. They can tell. Mm-hmm. So it says in Psalms 133 in verse number 1, how good and pleasant is it when God's people live together in unity. Mm-hmm. Find a way to start, to take the step. But when you take the step, it ain't an argument. Mm-hmm. When you take the step, it's not a blame game. Which was a blame game thing. Right. When you decide to take that step together, no matter where you are in your marriage right now, no matter where you are in your engagement right now, or no matter where you are in your single, thinking that, hey, I may want to consider somebody, or maybe I got my mind on something that can go to another level. Mm-hmm. This step, that step, you pray about it. Yeah. When you take it together, mm-hmm. whether you trip, stumble, or fall, you did it together. Yeah. And I guarantee you, when you'll learn from every mistake. So,
and that's where those hard conversations come in. You know, where do you feel like we are with our marriage? Mm-hmm. What do you like right now, and what do you not like? You know, what's your pet peeve about where we are right now? Is there an issue? And you just have to physically and mentally be prepared for that answer, mm-hmm. whatever that may be, but then you tackle it together. Mm-hmm. Because if one person is harboring that and they never say anything about it, you don't add, so you don't get an answer, you can't address it. And it's just like constantly putting dust under a rug. Eventually it's going to be a bump in the rug. Mm-hmm. Somebody going to trip and fall.
And when she asked me that, it's like a delayed reaction. It'd be really quiet. Yeah. Because sometimes you trying to do you like say the truth, or do you say what somebody wants to hear? You know, and it's not fair. It's really not fair to it's not fair to your spouse that when somebody asks you where we are in our marriage and you lie, you need to go in and tell them the truth. They deserve that because they can do something with that. They can do something with you doing well. Mm-hmm. You know, you're not doing well. You're not happy. You know, you need to say that. Right. But even if that comes out like that and you feel totally crushed, mm-hmm. you can cry, do what you got to do. Right. But still claw yourself back up to asking, why mm-hmm. do you feel like that? Right. Because if you keep asking the whys, even though they may be like one dart into your skin after the other, mm-hmm. what you'll find out is when you get down to the real root of it, then you can, sometimes the root of it can go back to childhood. The root of it can be the way that you were raised. Right. It's not really an attack on you as a person. Mm-hmm. It's just that if a person is very guarded because of what they experienced, if they haven't ever been delivered from that, excuse me, then it's really nothing about you.
Right.
It's just that stuff that you do trigger something that happened a long time
Mhm.
ago,
That's
and they
it.
go back to that. That's what happens. So, when we talk about people being married for a long period of time and then they wind up being strangers, those are the reasons why.
Yeah.
It's because you have the opportunity to have a real decent conversation
Mhm.
or an ugly, nasty conversation,
Right.
whatever it is. Once it gets out there, then you can start dealing with it.
Mhm.
But to keep it hidden or compartmentalized somewhere in the back of your head and your
Right.
heart doesn't make it go away.
That's what
You know?
brings death and destruction to your
Mhm.
marriage real quick.
So we don't want to look at it like in that way. So let me.
Oh.
I'm sorry.
And Vincent, thank you for that. We appreciate you.
Yeah, thank you, Vincent. We sure do.
Love you too.
So you enjoy your rest of your day. So what's our next scripture? Because we did Psalms 133.
Ephesians 4 and 3.
Okay, something's going on here
Mhm.
because I'm missing my mark here.
So,
Okay.
I'm gonna say it again. Even though before you have those conversations, you have to pray over the atmosphere of your home. I can't never say it enough. I know we've said it over and over again, but it's so very important because you want to make sure that you're putting God not only in the middle of it, but over everything.
Mhm.
Because you want your words you want to communicate what's on your heart and what's bothering you, but you don't want it to come out in a way where it's detrimental to your spouse.
Yeah.
So you want your words to be received and you want their heart to be receptive,
Mhm.
to what you're saying, but on a God level. We don't want it to be malicious and ugly and just
Mhm.
none of that. So you have to pray over the atmosphere of your home before you have those conversations.
But even when it comes out malicious and ugly, you have to realize that if you knew, and I just that's why I try to go back to home life.
Mm-hmm.
When you was dating and you went to visit your boyfriend's parents and you seen them cussing and talking each other crazy in front of you, why would you think that if you were married to a person that came from a home like that, that person may actually do that?
Right.
Why would you think that, because they love you so much that wouldn't occur? That is a home life.
Right.
And even though it's suppressed, if it hasn't been dealt with,
Mm-hmm.
now you can say that, hey, I don't want to be like that when I grow up. And that could be a good indicator of you making a conscious effort not to do something. But on the other end, if you don't say that and you think that's normal, then that's what you're going to do. So sometimes these conversations, she's saying it from one end, and I totally agree about the pray for the atmosphere of your home.
Mm-hmm.
But just know that even when you do that, the person still may cut up.
Right.
And they still may respond in a way that's not right. But what we want to do, even in that situation, is we want to pray over what we say,
Mm-hmm.
and we want to make sure on our end that we are um, responding in a way that shows grace. Because a soft answer turneth away wrath. That's Proverbs. It will. They may not stop then, but they're gonna stop. But I want to put your attention to Ephesians chapter 4 and verse number 3.
Mm-hmm.
It says, make every effort to keep the unity of the spirit through the bond of peace. That means that when you are wanting to live in unity, there are a lot of other factors that can impact that.
Right.
Your conversation could impact unity. The words that you say, like Millicent said, choose your words that can impact unity. You being able to carve out time that's essential
Mm-hmm.
to what the other person needs is a part of building unity in the home. If they need time, then you need to give them time. It can't be just all work, work, work. It can't be just all hanging with the boys all the time. If you're hanging with the boys, go do that, no problem.
Mm-hmm.
But you got to make sure that you balance the time between work. Let me just stop. You need to balance the time between God, your wife, your children, your job, and then your boys. and then kind of put some things in perspective. You can still do all that stuff. It's just that if a person's um, level of support and interaction requires you to actually be in the room, then you be in the room. Don't be in the room just to be like this cook, but be in the room and be an active participant, be engaged.
Right.
Don't be sitting there looking at your phone and all these other distracting things that doesn't tell the other person that you are really interested in spending time with them or interested in what they got to say. It says, make every effort to keep the unity of the spirit through the bond of peace. You want a home that's peaceful.
I think that's what I like now that we do. Because when we sit out on the patio, it's nothing else. No phones, no computers. You know, unless we working on something together, like we working on stuff for Marriage Matters, or you know, for you know, whatever else. But other than that, we're on the patio. Everything else is off.
Oh, wait a minute. Somebody speaking some truth and some. Anisha said that's why it's also important to know your spouse's love language. What you say,
That's
what
right,
you
cousin.
say.
That's it.
I'm a hugger. Well, I'm not a hugger. Well, you a hugger now. You need to hug. You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, some people they didn't grow up like that.
Right.
And I remember my cousin saying that when my aunt died, my mom's sister was 20 years older than her. And so all of the sons said, we know my mom loved us, but she wasn't a hugger. You know, that's true. We got that. But if you living if you living in a space with your wife and she's a hugger, you're gonna have to become a hugger. You know, not to go hugging everybody else, but if that's something that provides her with security or just something that she comes from, remember, we're talking about the background. If you don't want to analyze the background and you just want to talk about how so much in love you are, you being foolish. You have to understand they came from somewhere. And in that somewhere, that home, that life, they had a background, they had a way of doing things. And their way of doing things is not the way you do them.
Exactly.
Nobody grows up like that. We heard the same upbringing, the same.
And so Alicia said it provides you with a means of knowing what they need to feel loved. And that's true, because if you're not doing that, then you start making your spouse feel isolated, insignificant, you know, and that's what we don't want to do.
Yeah.
We want to make them feel loved, engaged, important, you know, and just besides God, you number two.
That could only be LaWanda said that could be okay, hold on. LaWanda said that could be a door only open to your spouse and kids. So explain.
Do you want to elaborate on that?
Yeah, elaborate on that. I need some clarification on that. Come on, type in the chat. I want to get a better understanding of that. We exercise on what is called wait time at school.
Come on, LaWanda, type. Anybody else have any comments, questions, concerns? Go ahead and drop that in there.
Drop it in, because this is a conversation. This is not, we not no experts. Okay. Being a hugger. Yeah, that might be true.
Right. I get it now.
Yeah, I got you. But you need to stop, girl.
How you just put that man out
there on the street like
that?
It doesn't matter.
But you hug that man and love on that man anyway.
Yeah. Make the ice cream melt.
You'll get that when you go look at the pictures from last night.
Make the ice cream melt. All right. So please y'all forgive me. I can't be nobody but me. But LaWanda, you girl, I can't even get some crazy stuff. I'm sorry. Oh goodness. Okay. I have to keep myself together. So So Anisha said, you all are absolutely right. Your spouse's past has defined who they are, and that's why you have to have those hard conversations. Hit the more button. Oh, that was it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, being transparent, but understand that transparent don't mean brutal truth.
Right.
All right, some people are brutal truth people, and if you're a brutal truth person, but you're not a brutal truth recipient,
Mm-hmm.
then again, it is not the gift you give; it's the way you package the gift.
That's
So we
it.
want to make sure, it's not always the give, but it's the way you package it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's it.
So what I'm saying, user one, is that, like Millicent said, you keep hugging that man and letting him know, hey, I appreciate you. But the thing about the love language and just understanding how people interact is that might not be your cup of tea,
Mm-hmm.
but that means that if it is for them, give them what they need in that
Right.
space, because it should be coming from you.
Mm-hmm.
It shouldn't be coming from somebody else. It should be coming from you. They should be receiving that from the person that's most closest to them. You gonna read that?
All right, Nisha. Okay.
All right.
It's okay. Hug that man and squeeze him tight. If hugging is what you need. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. My hubby's not a kiss, and I've grown to be okay with that because he gives me other things that I need.
All right then.
And then it's just about, again, learning your spouse.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but then at the same time, we still have to be equal recipients. So if I know that you like that, but I really don't, but I want to please my spouse, I want to continue to grow with you,
Mm-hmm.
it's not going to kill me to try it.
Yeah. And so that's a growth. That's a growth. That's a growth mindset. Is that we will really take our understanding to what the other's needs are,
Mm-hmm.
and we will make an effort
Right.
to make steps toward that,
Mm-hmm.
because we know that it's not going to be an instantaneous thing, because they didn't grow up in that way.
Mm-hmm.
It takes almost 30 days to build a habit of anything. So if you keep doing something for 30 days, then it becomes a habit.
Mm-hmm.
You don't make your bed for 30 days, you're going to have a dirty room because you're going to have a habit of not cleaning it. But if you make your bed for 30 days, you're going to have a habit of having a bed that's neat and orderly for 30 days. And
Right.
you just, boom, it just constantly keep happening. So we think that, and we know that as you keep dropping these nuggets, because it ain't just something that you're doing for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You building a legacy for yourself, your children, because I want everybody, and I mean this, so I can say that we want everybody, Milton and myself, after you've gone,
Mm-hmm.
good morning, hey
Good morning,
baby,
sweet honey.
you gotta go to work? Okay.
They said no because she said corporate said that we had too many people in the building yesterday.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, okay. Well, we'll talk about it because, but that don't mean that you're not going back?
No, yeah, she just said not to come in today.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
We have to talk
That's
to
our,
our baby.
our sweet Talia.
Okay.
Say good morning to the people, Talia.
Good morning.
So, it's for us. I think it's just you need to be receptive in the mind of what the other needs,
Mm-hmm.
and make steps toward giving them
What
they need.
Yeah.
We ain't even talking about a want like it's a selfish desire.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking about a need because this is something that gets them going.
Right.
This is something that helps them to be validated by the person that they feel is supposed to be closest to them.
Mm-hmm.
But understanding that the background and the way that they were reared is a big indicator. So we got one more scripture, and it's going to be
First Corinthians.
quite lengthy. Hold up, yeah.
And it's 1 Corinthians chapter 3, verses 10 through 13.
All right, we're going to learn something now, y'all. It says, oh, I didn't highlight that. I'm sorry. Okay, so it says, by the grace God has given me, I laid a foundation as a wise builder, and someone else is building on it. But each one should build with care.
Mm.
For no one can lay any foundation other than the one already laid, which is Jesus Christ. If anyone builds on this foundation using gold, silver, costly stones, wood, hay, or straw, and it says their work will be shown for what it is because the day
Mm.
will bring it to light. That's
How are
important.
you taking care and what materials are you using to build your marriage?
That is. Mm. I'll read it again. This is First Corinthians chapter 3, verses 10, 11, and 12
In 13.
and 13. All right. It says, by the grace God has given me, I laid a foundation as a wise builder, and someone else is building on it. But each one should build with care. Each one. For no one can lay any foundation other than one already laid, which is Jesus Christ. If anyone builds on this foundation using gold, silver, costly stones, wood, hay, or straw, their work will be shown for what it is, because the day will bring it to light.
Mm-hmm.
That's important.
Yeah.
That's important because what your foundation of your marriage is built on, it will be shown. The materials that you use. Do you use a good attitude? Do you use the right kind of support? Do you use, good, effective communication? Do you use a heart of forgiveness? Do you use just a area and a space for a person to be who they are, even if there may be some rough edges on there, and but you praying for them to get better. You know, do you take out time to listen to them, not trying to correct them all the time, but just listen to what they have to say? Do you do those things? What are
Beat him
your
over the head with the Bible. The Lord said thus and so and da 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 da.
Mhm. And you're supposed to listen to me because I'm the husband. Do what I say.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I want you to do what I say. I want you to do it how I say do it. When I say do it.
That caveman stuff. That's caveman stuff. I don't My dad, I was wouldn't tell my mom, oh God. No. So I think y'all read through that. But because I done seen some of them conversations when there was somebody trying to tell somebody what to do in our house, so I can understand. Yeah, okay. So
Nisha said someone sent me a quote the other day that says some people were raised on survival and others on love. Knowing your spouse's background, roots, and how they were raised will help you understand them as a whole. And honestly, that's why dating, true dating, being around family is so important. You want to know what you're getting into. At least get a glimpse of what to expect, and then you have the decision before you get married. Are you willing to deal with that? Do you have what it takes to make it, and be engaged with it?
I'm sorry, I'm reading what she said. She's talking about leave my uncle alone. But and I know, and you got to realize, Nisha, she had to deal with that with me. So, that's why you have to grow together, girl. But I think that when we acknowledge the feelings, because one thing we didn't say, Millicent, that I know that we do is, when you said this is how this made me feel.
Exactly.
Because if you don't really, because two things. It's not that you're not validating the feelings. You really haven't, excuse me, you're really taking the time to understand what those feelings are. On the other end, when you tell somebody you made me feel like this when you said this,
right,
that means that somebody needs to be listening and somebody needs to be not talking. So that way you can be able to get that particular that the point out. I feel like when we really started doing a lot of that type of conversation and role play, it made a difference in me understanding I can't dismiss the feelings. That is her feelings. I don't have to agree with the feelings.
Right.
It's just that that's how she feels.
Mhm.
And then I can say what I need to say and then talk about how I felt. And then going back, putting each other's situation, if we put ourselves in that situation
Mhm.
on that side, you
Right.
have an opportunity to see it from a different perspective.
Walking your
Then,
just not really walking your shoes, but
and then you kind of hash it out,
yeah.
kind of, get an understanding because without that, you just, it becomes a, I don't know, it becomes either a war of the words or it just becomes a wall of silence. It's one or
I
the
love
other.
both.
Mm-hmm,
It
or
can
both,
become
yeah.
both. So Nisha said a glimpse because people's true representatives don't show up until they say I do.
Yeah.
1,000% right. And you're living with them 24/7. Yes, grow together and make sure you have someone who is willing to grow with you.
I believe that. I agree.
But that's where, especially during the dating time, a lot of prayer comes in. And if you're already at the point where you're contemplating marriage, to go to marriage counseling. I can't stress that enough because I know we did. And I was so glad that we did because, Pastor Mike and Miss Lisa brought up stuff that
Yeah.
never would have even thought
We
about,
didn't.
discussing before marriage. So
We didn't know about it, trust me. So that was one of the things that we definitely bought. They started talking to us about stuff. We was like, are we sure? We're making the right decision. We don't know anything. We love each other. Okay, that's good.
yeah,
We got
that's a great start.
but that is not nowhere near all of what you need. Yeah, pre-marriage counseling is a wonderful thing
Yeah.
because you need it because you don't know. And we can talk about millennials and all this stuff. You can say whatever you want to say, but when it gets down to the fact that you are uninformed and you go into making not a purchase, but a big decision without any kind of background knowledge,
Yeah.
that is not wise.
Yeah.
That's not wise when you're buying a home. That's not wise when you're buying a car. That's not wise when you're making a big decision on a large purchase. So you make the decision based on some background information. And so when you're getting ready to consider marriage, you need to understand some other things. You can't just I love him, girl. Please, that ain't enough.
So LaWanda said, hugging
Excuse
when
me.
you're dating, when you get married, some feel that may not need to show it as much. They secure the bag, but that's what attracted you to them. So, I mean, but again, it just goes back to, like Nisha said, knowing the love language, but not just knowing the love language, but being willing and wanting to step outside of your comfort zone to make sure you supply that love language to your spouse.
Yeah.
Not always easy, but God can help you with that.
Yep.
And then Nisha said, Caring Hearts, we use that in the classroom. It works at home too. Make sure we continue to build those relationships. It doesn't stop when you say yes or I do. You need something?
Where's the book?
The book right here.
Oh, you got the page? Yeah, because we getting down
it's a
to
continuous
7
thing
minutes.
throughout your marriage. Okay. Pre-marriage counseling is a wonderful thing. Marriage counseling is a great thing, period. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm going to read the devotional for the day so we can get a good grasp of everything.
Oh, yeah.
And then I want 6 minutes. Yeah. It says, when you marry, you commit to journey through life together. You promise to stay faithful no matter what. You make choices as a team. Where to work, live, and worship. How to grow your family, what to spend and give, and share the outcome of those decisions. You become part of each other's families. You study the word, you pray, and share your faith in God. It says every part of your lives becomes intertwined. Keep moving toward oneness today. Don't let business or distractions push each other away. Share experiences and make memories. Unite your hopes and dreams so what's good for one will bless the other. Do all you can to respect your in-laws and create unity in your families. Pursue God as a couple, participating in prayer, Bible study, and the life of the church. Keep us ahead of me in all that you do.
Wow.
So these type of small but yet powerful nuggets, I'm sorry, you can't see that. These yet small but powerful nuggets, it helps you to keep yourself grounded. You know, going over this is important. Did we just lose connectivity?
Oh my gosh.
Uh-oh.
Like it just went away. Okay, we
Well.
still live on Instagram and on YouTube.
So
What happened to our Facebook? I have no idea.
Oh, yeah, we're back.
There we go.
So
Okay.
I don't know what happened. It just went out. So it's important to think about all of those type of factors because there was a lot said in here. It talked about the journey, enjoy it, embrace it, love it, don't hate it. It talked about staying faithful. You have to stay faithful to God in your relationship with Him. Stay faithful to your spouse in your relationship with her or him. Stay faithful to your children in your relationship with them. To not be a person that's in a room but become the room. Meaning that they know that you are ever present and you are engaged. The choices
As a team.
Make choices as a team, even if it turns out in disaster. Trust me, you will learn
If you
from
fail, you fail together. If you win, you win together.
And keep moving towards oneness. Big deal. Keep moving towards oneness. It's an incredible feeling to know that you could be having a conversation with another person. That conversation may not be turning out like you wanted to, but your wife can just give you a very subtle look to say, don't you respond the way you're about to respond. I already see, I feel it brewing, I feel it coming. Don't do it. Don't let it come out.
Listen to
We'll talk
that
about
voice.
it later. You know, and so that comes with the oneness. That comes with the spending time with each other and understanding what will set a person off or make them respond in a certain way.
Right.
Even it may not be comfortable, it may not be pretty, but the reality is we're all humans. But the way that we learn how to understand those subliminal messages from each other, it tells us that we're really learning and growing and understanding each other.
Right.
So that's a good piece. It says, don't let the business or distractions push each other away.
Yeah.
You got to carve out real time. They got to have a priority in your life, just like God got to have a priority, number one. And then other things that you put on your priority list, they have to have those, but you have to prioritize that.
And you know, we've been through that, letting the business or distractions push you, you know, and that was a hard time, you know. So, but knowing what we know now, we know how or things that we could have done to interrupt that cycle, you know. So I thank God, even though we went through that, you know, it was a learning experience. It just helped us where we are now, you know. But when you start noticing that, you know, you're busy, you're doing this, you're doing that, you're running with the kids, you're running with work, you know, y'all got football practice here, you got, you know, all these different things. When you getting short with each other, you spending less and less time together at home, you gotta stop, sit down, have one of them conversations. Look, this is what I noticed. I don't like this, and what do we need to do?
We have 50 seconds, so we're going to make sure that, because if we don't stop in 50 seconds, the Instagram post is going to shut down.
Oh, yeah.
So we want to thank you all for the interaction and the engagement and typing into the chat and being able to say how you feel, what you experienced, and steps that you take in order to really pursue this journey together. Remember, the journey together is a very powerful one. So embrace it. Continue to be focused on how you can support each other, because it comes down to support, understanding, communication, and
Right.
being able to lay a foundation that makes it safe for you.
Yeah.
We have 24 seconds
Yeah.
remaining on Instagram, so you're going to close us out, man?
All right, yes. So we thank you all for engaging with us today. Don't forget, check us out on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Go to our YouTube channel, subscribe, like, and share it. And we're going to talk with you all next Saturday and discuss more marriage matters.
Because your marriage matters.
Bye. Love y'all. Thank you.